In this video, we're going to go over how to give credit to the text. So before we go too far into this, I do want to show you everything about the attachments. In this video, we're going to go over giving credit to the text. The first thing I want to do is I want to show you the attachments in Google Classroom. So first off, this is the assignment that we're working on. So you should have this assignment. If you don't, you can either print it from Skyward if you know how to do that. Otherwise, ask me and I can give you a copy. So before we get too far in the assignment, in your interactive notebook, you should have a page that looks like this. If you don't have this page, come see me and I'll give you a copy of that. You're going to really want this page in your interactive notebook because we're going to use this a lot. So when we look at this worksheet, you're going to notice there's Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, and Article 4. And when you look at the assignment on Google Classroom, you're going to notice there's Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, Article 4. So each one of these articles, they correspond with the articles on the worksheet. So for instance, question number 1, we need to pull up Article 1. Also notice when you pull this article up, I wrote it in green up top so that you can be certain that you're on the correct article. So when we look at question 1, it says, using one of the sentence starters from your interactive notebook, give credit to this article by using the author's name. So that takes us back to our sentence starters. So that takes us back to our sentence starters. Now notice when we have sentence starters, we have a section for paraphrasing and a section for quoting. So unless the question on this worksheet specifically says that we're going to quote, and the only question that says that is question number 6, you can assume that we're going to paraphrase. So the only question that you're going to be looking at the quoting section is question number 6. So that being said, notice when we look at this paraphrasing section, each one of these has something in common. Half of these have title of the text in common. The other half has author in common. So unless the question specifically tells us that we either need to use an author or the title, you can choose whichever one that you want. So this one here, this question, tells us that we do need to use the author's name. So that narrows it down to this one, this one, this one, or this one. And it doesn't matter which sentence starter you want to use, whatever one you like the best. So I'm just going to go with the first one, and I'm going to say author states. Now I can't say author states in this case because I'm just going to use this author states. Now of course I'm going to replace author with the actual author. So if we go back to our article, we need to look for the author. Remember, there's 2 places where the author could be. It could either be up top, like right underneath the title, or right beside the title. Like in this case, it is right beside the title. Or it could be all the way at the bottom of the last page of the article. So the author for this article is A.D. Braun. And remember that we talked about in class that when you're using the author's name, you need to always use the author's last name. You could use the author's first and last name, but we can never use the author's first name because there are a lot of people that have the same first names. Last names tend to be more unique to the person. And our goal in giving credit to the text is for a reader to read your paper and be able to Google your author and find the article written by your author. So that being said, we said we're going to use, from our sentence starter, we're going to use author states. We know the author's name is Braun. So for our first one, we're going to write something like Braun states. We're going to write something like Braun states. And that's all you need. Now, a couple things. First of all, this is not a complete sentence, and this is one of the only times in English when it's okay to not write a complete sentence. This worksheet is basically breaking down our parts of a paragraph. And one major part of a paragraph is giving credit to the text. And of course, the next assignment is going to be starting out with the sentence starter, but adding the quote or the paraphrasing part of the text, and then it will be a complete sentence. Notice, and you can use this example, you don't have to come up with your own for question number 1. Question number 2, notice you are on a new article, so you're going to pull up article number 2, and you're simply going to figure out the author of the article, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to use a sentence starter from your interactive notebook to give credit to the article. So that should look pretty similar to this, except with a different author. Question 4, this question is a review question. This doesn't have anything to do with giving credit to the text. This question, you're creating a topic sentence. And if you remember from a couple weeks ago, we talked about we create a topic sentence by restating and answering our question. And this is our purple goal. So for this question, you're going to restate this question. You're going to turn it into a statement, a sentence with a period, and you're going to embed your opinion in here. So you either have to be on the yes side or the no side.